Hello, everybody. By the way, if you're here, you can type 1 in the chat. Okay, wait, let me write down. Hi. Type 1 if you are here. Okay. Today is a Wednesday. How was your school for the past few days? Yay! Hi, Kenneth. Hi, wait, I don't know what's your name, but yes, hi everybody. Ooh, so many people. Okay, let me draw random things while we wait for 50 more seconds. Wee. How is everybody doing today? Wait, let me think. Okay, I don't need this. Good. How do you change your name? I think it's like your Google account. So you kind of have to change your name in the Google account. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I hope you guys have the paper with you. I think it's sent inside the chat earlier on today. So it depends on whether you're from the WeChat group or the WhatsApp group. Is it sent in the WhatsApp group? Oh yeah, it is. Yes. So I hope you guys have taken a look at the paper. Oh, hello. Oh, you're Wong Kian? Hi, Wong Kian. What's Cher's name? Yeah, I need to write my name. Let me write down. I guess we can start now. It's officially 6:30. Okay, hello guys. So I hope you guys can hear me clearly. Okay, so hello everybody. To introduce myself, I am teacher Zeri from Think Academy. I am teaching P4 and P5 PSLE Math in Think Academy. And one fun fact about myself, I'm pretty sure those people who are my students, right, who are here, you all should know. What do you think? What do you think I like the most? Let me see. Anyone? Okay. I like cats, and I like cat gifs a lot. So if you come for my lessons, there is a lot of cat gifs, random cat gifs. I think it's very cute. Yes. So yes, hope to see you guys in the near future as well. So before we start with the paper explanation, right, I just want to share a few other activities that are upcoming. So you know that if you have some P6 friends, seniors, or siblings, okay, we are going to go through the PSLE paper that is on Friday itself, but at 6:30 p.m. So you can go and subscribe, stay tuned, and wait for our live stream. Okay, we are gonna go through the questions there. You guys can also watch it as well, so you can get a feeling of how PSLE is like. Okay, and then also next Thursday, we are also going to have another paper run through. So this is the first session. Next week, we're going to have another session, but unfortunately, it's not by me. So you guys will see another new pretty face. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so today we are going to talk about the P5 end of year paper. It's a Rosive paper in 2024. I think it's a pretty cool paper, but I'm not going to go through all the questions because as you can see, it takes 2.5 hours for us to finish the entire paper. So we are not going to go through everything. Okay. Before we go on to the question, right, I wanted to say that, okay, paper 1, you guys should know is 1 hour. So if you try to go and divide your time up, right, if you divide your time, you realize that the MCQs, you have only around like 1.5 minutes per question. And then if you have 2.5 minutes per SAQ, if you go and calculate this out, what is the duration over here? Okay, it's exactly 60 minutes. Okay, so actually you have less than 1.5 minutes per question for MCQ. So for those very straightforward MCQ, right, you really need to like finish it in like less than 10 seconds so that you have more time for the longer MCQ questions. Okay, and then for the SAQs, yeah, just try your best to finish it in, let's say if you are stuck for like 1.5 2 minutes, move on. Okay, and then afterwards then you come back to it. For paper 2, if you divide it up, you get like 5 point something minutes, so 5+ minutes, but we all know that paper 2 is a bit more tedious. Okay, so I think it would be better for you guys to, if you are stuck for like 3-4 minutes, right, move on. Yeah, that's my advice. Okay, with that, I'm gonna go through our paper. Okay, let me see whether anyone has any questions. I have the worksheets, 2 minutes per question. Yes. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all the questions, okay, because we don't have a lot of time. I'm just going to go through some key questions, but at the very end, if we have extra time, we will go for the other questions as well. Okay? Oh, okay. Wait, Oh, my face? Oh, but then that makes my face very big. Okay, I'm told to put my face on the screen. Does it make my face very big? Okay. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Okay, so we are going to start with the first question. Why I think this question is important. Okay, what concept does this cover? It's our very familiar first thing you learned in P5, basically our board mass concept. What does board mass stand for? Okay, you guys can type in the chat. I will see in a while. Okay, but basically the important thing about board mass, right? You technically don't really need to know the O at this point. You only need to know the B, which stands for the brackets. Okay, the brackets. And then D and M is your division and multiplication, which you don't really, you don't split it up. So you kind of have to combine it together, as well as the addition and subtraction. You kind of combine them together as well. Okay, so then how do we decide which one first? We go from the left to the right. Okay, I'm pretty sure most of you guys should know by now. So based on that, what's the first step we need to do? The first step we need to do is our brackets over here. So we can do our brackets. 8 plus 12 equals to 20. 20 divided by 5 times 3. I would advise you guys to write it down step by step, unless you're a super duper calculator that doesn't make any careless mistakes. Okay, then after that, let's identify the next part. What do we do first? Divide. Okay, divide first because it's the leftmost one. So we get 35 minus 4 times 3. Afterwards, what do? We do our multiplication. Okay, so it will be 35 minus 12. And finally, you get your answer as 23. Okay, so first question, very simple. But as you said, it's very simple, so don't make any careless mistakes. Okay, now I'm going to skip to question 5. Oh no, my face is blocking this thing. Okay, it's all right. Okay, so in this figure below, ST and UV are straight lines. We know that angle problems, right? There are a bunch of angle properties that you guys need to know. Okay, so, but there are some angle properties that are very special. You definitely need straight lines. Some need parallel lines. So I hope you guys are familiar with your angle properties. But in this question, what angle property do you think we are focusing on? So let's highlight the ST and UV. So ST over here, ST is from here to here. And then UV is from here to here. When we see this X over here, which property does it remind you guys of? Okay, I'm going to give you guys a while to think in the chat. You can write down what property do you see over here? What property? My face ain't moving. Oh, I'm lagging a lot. Wait, am I still lagging? Okay, so I hope some of you guys already got the answer. So basically, we are looking at our X shape over here, which is basically our vertically opposite angle. You don't have to write down the whole thing. You can just write vert op angles, but I'm just going to write down the whole thing over here, vertically opposite angles. What's the property over here? It means when you cross the two opposite angles, right, they are the same angle. They have the same degree. So in that case, we straight away know that A is equals to C And thankfully, that's our first option. So we don't need to go and figure out slowly everything else. Okay, so but anyways, you can go and check B and D. Definitely, they are not the same. Okay, there is no angle, no vertically opposite angles there. A plus B, they are not supplementary as well. They are not 180 because it's not a straight line. B plus D as well. Okay, it doesn't add up to 180. So answer is A. Now let's move on to the next question. Okay, I'm gonna jump a little bit. So for this question, why did I choose this question? Okay, because I know for area of triangles, everybody is familiar that area of triangle is half times base times height. So you're like, oh teacher, I know the formula. But I don't know which one is the base, which one is the height. I think that's the most difficult part to identify, and it's the most important part that you need to do, which is to identify the base and the height. Okay, so usually, okay, the base, right, is basically the flat one, usually. Okay, so we can choose this as the base first. Now, if this is the base, the height, what is the property of the height? The height must be perpendicular, like Ultraman. Is it Ultraman? I don't know. Okay, anyways. Okay, height must be perpendicular. So, can it be this slanted thing over here? No, okay, it cannot be this slanted thing over here. We should look at its perpendicular height, which is from here all the way up to where its topmost point is, which is this point over here. And if you go and actually, you can push it all the way out over here. So actually, it's basically this length, the breadth of the rectangle over here. What's the breadth of the rectangle? How many squares? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And each of them is 1 cm. So this is 5 cm. The base over here is 4 cm. So now we know that it's half times 4 times 5. I hope you guys know how to do multiplication of the fractions. So this is 2 times 5 gives us 10 cm squared. Okay, so make sure if it's not an MCQ question, you write down your units. Okay, so I hope you guys can see this. This is 90 degrees from the base. Okay, let me check the comments for a while. Yes, very good, vertically opposite angles. Nice. Okay, let me shift this down again. Okay, now everybody see this question and they panic. Then they're like, teacher, I never learned average yet. Okay, I know some of you guys in school, right? You guys haven't learned average yet. But I know there are some schools that are still testing average as the old syllabus. Some of you guys already follow the new syllabus, which doesn't have average in P5, it's in P6. Okay, but average is not a super duper difficult concept. That's why it's placed in P6 at this point. Okay, average means that basically, let's say I love cats, right? So we are going to look at our cat distribution system. Okay, let's say person A over here, you have 10 cats. Yay. And person B over here, you have 20 cats. And person C over here, you have 40 cats. Okay? Okay, this is not a very nice number. Let me make it a nicer number. Let's make it 30 cats. Okay, so now, if I want to find the average, right, I'm basically saying I want to take all the cats, I kidnap all the cats, and then I start distributing equally amongst all 3 of them. Okay, so now, how many cats did I kidnap in total? 10 plus 20 plus 30, we know that there are 60 cats in total. If I want to distribute it equally to all the people here, there are 3 people over here. So 60, you divide it by 3, each person gets 20, 20, 20. So now we know that the average in this case, average number of cats is 60 divided by 3 equals to 20. Okay, so if you think about average, you think about cat distribution system, take all the cats, divide it equally into the number of people there. So let me write down a nice formula for this. Okay, to find the average, we need to find average equals to the total. Okay, the total amount divided by the number of whatever items or people, let's say people in this case. Okay, or the number of things, number of items. Okay. Okay, so in this case, we are looking at numbers. So it's the total value of things divided by the number. So now we want the average of 3 numbers. Can we find we need the average? Can we find the total value? Yes, we can. How do we find the total value? 1020. Okay, we take away 150. Okay, and then this is our total over here, divided by the number of things. Divided by the number of things. How many items are there? How many numbers are there? 3. Okay, so you guys can calculate this out. Okay, can you guys type the answer in the chat for those who haven't learned before? I hope this formula helps. Okay, let me see. Kidnapping is bad, teacher. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, very nice. Okay, so I hope you guys got the answer already. So we know that this is 870 divided by 3. And then you should be able to get 290 as the answer, 290. Okay, so your answer for this is C. Now let's move on. Okay. Ratio is also another concept that was shifted to P6, but I see that some schools are still testing ratios as well. So ratio is not, I think a lot of people will have already told you, ratio is basically fractions, but the fraction is lazy, so the fraction lie down. Okay, so it's basically a horizontal fraction. What does this mean? So for example, 3:5. We read this as 3:5. It means that for every 3 boys that we have 5 girls, which means that the units is basically saying the boys, there are 3 units of boys and there are 5 units of girls. So 3:5. Okay, and then now we know that each boy was given 2 stickers, each girl was given 3. So the girls received blah, 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 more stickers than the boys. How many stickers did the boys receive in total? We know that there are boys versus girls. We know that there are 3 units of boys and 5 units of girls. This is basically our number of units. Okay, and then each boy was given 2 stickers. So I think those who have come for the P5 lessons before, you guys should be able to identify this kind of question. This should be the number of units times value of units. What does that mean? For every one thing, what's the value of that one thing? Value of units is actually 2, okay? Because each boy gets 2. Each girl, on the other hand, gets 3. Okay, so how do we use this table over here? Number of units. We know that number of units multiplied by the value of units times value of units, we get our total value. Okay, those who cannot really understand, you can think of it as, let's say there are 3 boys. Okay, each boy gets 2 stickers. So how many stickers are there for the boys? There are 3 times 2 equals to 6. Because the number times the value equals to the total value. So same thing, I'm just changing a 3 into 3 units. So I have 3 units times 2, I get 3u times 2 equals to 6 units. Okay, and then on the other hand, for the girls, we can do the same. 5u times 3 equals to 15 units. Okay, now let's look at how we can relate the units to the numbers. We know that there are 81 more stickers. Be very careful. What does 81 more refer to? Okay, I think I asked a lot of my P4 and P5 kids, the special word that starts with a D, okay, it's difference, okay? Difference, this is not the sum. And difference in what? Difference in number or difference in value? This is the difference in value. Okay, so this is a difference in value. So we know that the boys received 6 units in total. The girls received 15 units in total. So the difference in value in terms of units is actually 15u minus 6u equals to 9u. That tells us that 9u, which is the difference in value, is equals to which number? The number that we have over here, 81. 81. So this tells us that 1 unit equals to 81 divided by 9 equals to 9. Now, what's the question asking for? How many stickers did the boys receive in total? We know that there are 6 units of stickers received by the boys. So we just have to find out what is 6 units, which is 9 times 6 equals to 54. Therefore, the answer is C. Wait, why do I feel like a lot of the questions, the answer is C? I also say a very funny thing in class usually. I always say like, when in doubt, choose C, guys. Okay, but no. When in doubt, think a little harder, and then if you run out of time, you skip, and then you come back to it afterwards. Okay, don't always choose C, because your teacher might know that we all want to choose C, because when in doubt, choose C. Okay, anyways, let's move on. I think this is the final question of the MCQ already. I think this question, a lot of people couldn't really solve this question. I think some people ask me how to do this question. What kind of question is this in first place? Okay, let's read. We know that 1/4 of the students and an additional 3 students were at the English section. And then after that, the 1/3 of the remaining, 3 fewer than 1/3 of the remaining, okay, were at the mother tongue section. And then the rest of them were the 27 students over here. Okay, let me underline this part as well. Okay, so how many students were at the mother tongue section? This is actually a very hidden question. Actually, this is a working backwards question, because you have an amount of students at first, and then afterwards, you kind of remove them, you shift them into the English section, shift them into the mother tongue section, and then the rest that is left is in the media section. Okay, so this is basically a working backwards question, secretly a working backwards question. That's why I like this question. Yeah, this question is quite good. Working backwards. You guys can write down. I hope you have the paper. Okay, so working backwards question, there are a few methods to solve it. Some people solve it using their head. Some people cannot visualize, so we draw the model out. I think it's better for us to draw the model out. So we are going to start by drawing a bunch of kids over here. Okay, these are the bunch of students. Okay, 1/4 of the students. Okay, let's focus on the 1/4 first. It means I split this into 4 parts. Okay, 4 equal parts over here. I tried my best. Okay, so 1/4 of the students were at the English section. There was an additional 3 students as well. So we have to go and add this extra 3 students from the second unit over here. And we can say that all this, they are the English. Okay, now we see the keyword over here, remaining. Okay, it means we don't count from the total like this, we count from the remaining. Where is the remaining? The remaining is this part over here until this part over here. So with that, we can draw a smaller model based on that. Okay, let me try my best. Okay, yay. Okay, so we know that 3 fewer than 1/3. Okay, so what are we doing here? We are splitting it into 3 equal parts first. And then after that, do we really take the entire 1/3 like this for the mother tongue section? So sad, not a lot of people like mother tongue. Okay, unfortunately, only 3 fewer than 1/3. So actually, we didn't have this many. We actually had 3 fewer. So you can write 3 over here. Only this bunch of people went to the mother tongue section. So empty. And finally, the rest of the 27 students were at the media. So from where to where? Is it just these 2 units over here? No, it's from this part over here all the way, all the way to the end. Let me write this very nicely. Okay, so this is 27 at the media section. Now, our goal, right, is always to relate units to numbers. Okay, we know this is 1 unit, this is 1 unit, this is 1 unit. I can label this over here, 1U, and then this is 1U. How do I relate the units to the numbers? Okay, let's focus on this part over here. I hope you guys can see the cursor. This part over here. You realize that 3 plus 1U equals to 27. That means that our 2 units over here, 2 unit actually equals to 27 take away 3, which is 24. Now we can find our 1 unit, which is 24 divided by 2, 12. Actually, if you read the question, they only want the mother tongue section. So we can just focus on this part over here. We know this whole thing is 1 unit. This is 3. So how do I find this shaded part over here? It's just 12. Take away the 3. Then we can immediately find the answer. So actually, question is not as tough as you think it is. Once you know it's a working backwards question, you draw your model correctly, then you should be able to get your final answer, which is A9. Okay, I'm going to give you guys some time to write this down. Okay, let me look at this. Oh, nice. Yes, 1 unit equals to 12. Very good. Okay. The echo is crazy for 2 accounts opening the live at the same time. Oh, is there an echo? Okay, let me see. I'm the same person as this. Same person as the one above. Interesting. How many devices are you all using at the same time? Okay, I hope you guys are doing okay. Yes, very good. Now let's move on to our short answer questions, still paper 1. Okay, we are gonna move on to this first one over here. Why I think this one is important, because it's so easy that a lot of people forget how to do it. Then a lot of people will start doing this 0.35. Teacher, how to times 4,000 like that? Is it? Yeah. Then it's like, okay. So during exams, right, they don't test you things that they didn't teach you before. Okay, it's always related. So we know that at one point of time, they taught us how to multiply decimals by 10, 100, 1,000. Okay, so we need to relate it to a familiar concept. So how do we relate this to a familiar concept? We can split this thing up into 4 and 1,000. Which one is easier to do first? I would think the tens, 100,000s are easier to do first. So I would write it as 0.35 multiplied by 1,000, then multiplied by 4. Okay, do you know how to multiply a decimal by the thousands? Okay, how do you do it? Let me write it at the side over here. How many zeros are there in this? There are 1, 2, 3 zeros. Okay, for the sake of time, I'm going to tell you guys to just shift the decimals. Okay, make sure you know whether you shift left or shift right. If you multiply by a whole number, right, you're going to get a bigger number. So how do we get a bigger number? Do we move the decimal to the left or to the right? I don't know which one is my left and which one is my right. But yes, okay, we move to the right over here so we can make it bigger. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. And then do we just, 35, yes. Okay, no, okay, this is the dot over here. What do I put in this bowl thing? You put an egg in a bowl, okay? So you put a 0 inside. So your answer will be 350. So you get 350 times 4 as your answer. Okay, go and calculate this out. There's no calculator. There's a trick to this. 350 times 2 times 2. So 350 times 2 is 700. 700 times 2 is 1,400. Or if you cannot mental calculate, go and write down your workings at the side. Okay? Okay, so, this question is a little bit long, but it's our familiar, not so familiar ratio question. The reason why I want to cover this, even though for some of you guys it's not tested, is because there's a very, very important concept over here that sometimes in the fraction questions they also test. Okay, so we read the question first. The pupils at a camp are divided equally into camp A and camp B. The ratio of the boys to the girls in camp A is 2:1. So let's write this down. This is camp A. Then the boys is to girls is 2:1. For anyone who's watching this and don't really know what's ratio, it means there's 2 units of boys and 1 unit of girls. Okay, and then over here we have also the camp B. We have the boys to the girls. It's 4 units is to 11 units. Okay, now we need to try to relate these two ratios over here. How do we relate? Can we how the ratio of boys to the girls? So boys is 2 plus 4, 6. And then this one, 1 plus 11, 12. Then 6 is to 12. 1 is to 2. Okay, no, you cannot do that, okay? Because you have to first check if this unit size that each ratio is referring to is the same. So this 1 unit here may not be the same as the 1 unit that is representing over here. How do we tell? We need to find something in common. What's in common between these two? The number of what? Okay, we read our very important first sentence over here. We know it's divided equally into Camp A and Camp B, which means the total number of people in Camp A is the same as the total number of people in Camp B. So we can add an additional column over here to find the total, which is the boys plus the girls. Now we have 3 units over here. Over here, we have 11 plus 4 equals to 15 units or parts, okay? So the total is supposed to be the same. But if you look at this, right, is this the same? 3 and 15. Okay, I check my eyes. Okay, no, it's not the same. Okay, so we have to make them into the same thing while keeping the proportions same. So how do I do that? I have to change it to its lowest common multiple, which is 15. So I have to change this into 15. How do I change this into 15? I multiply it by 5. I hope you guys can see this color. Is it very bright? Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, times 5. And everything must times 5 as well. It's like when you guys do your equivalent fractions, this is basically equivalent ratio. It's exactly the same thing. Okay, so you will get, this is 15, this is 5, this is 10. So 10 is to 5 is to 15. Now, do you guys agree that the unit sizes are the same now? Because the total is 15 unit, total is 15 units, so our unit sizes are the same. Now we can finally compare. Basically, there are 10 units of boys over here, 5 units of girls over here, 4 units of boys over here, 11 units of girls over here. What's the ratio of the boys to the girls at the camp? Okay, so the boys is to girls is going to be 10 plus 4 is to 5 plus 11 equals to 14 is to 16. How do we simplify this? Same thing as your fraction, divide it by its common factor. So this one you can divide by 2, divide by 2, you get 7 is to 8. Yay! So our answer, this will be very funny because I will put double dot. Okay, never mind. 7 is to 8. Okay, let me check the comments. Yeah, some is equal, very good. Let me see. Good. Nice. Okay. Okay, let me move on to the next question. Okay, bar graph, statistics question. I love statistics question, I think, in primary school. Okay, so, but it has the average concept again. So I'm going to recap the average concept again. So basically cat distribution system. Okay, we make sure everybody have the same. So how many birdies are there? How many months are there? So there are January, February, March, April. I have some people who don't know the months of the year. That is very troubling. Guys, remember there are 12 months in a year and please know their names. Okay, so there are 4 months over here. So the average is 120. We know that the total is equals to the average. Oh, I should just put equals. Average times the number of people or whatever. I'm just gonna write people. Yay. Okay, these people can represent months or like humans or students or whatever. Okay, so we know that the average is 120. The number of months is 4. So we know that the total equals to 480. Okay, so that's the information we can get from this part over here. Now let's look at this diagram over here. You must be like, the diagram is wrong because there is no numbers on it. Okay, if there is no numbers, at least there are still lines, right? Okay, the lines tell you something. The lines, right, the gaps are all the same. It means that the proportion is always going to be the same. So we can treat each gap, right, as 1 unit. So we can count the number of units. Okay, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, my eyes are going a bit like cross-eyed right now. Okay, I believe this is 20 units. This is 2 less, so this is 8 units. Okay, go and count. This is 2 more than this, so this is 22 units. Oh, my eyes. Okay, so we want to compare the units, relate the units to the number. So we know the number shows the total, so we need to find the total units. What is the total units? The total units is 10u plus 20u plus 8u plus 22u. You guys know the best friend pair thing? Okay, so the 8 and the 2, they are like best friends, so you can add them together. This is 30 plus 20 plus 10. Oh, it was the number that I said just now, 60. Okay. Oh my god, wait, the way I said it reminds me of 6, 7, but never mind. Let's not go there. Okay, 6 units equals to 480. So now we can find our 1 unit, or let's say what are they asking? They're asking, oh, they're asking April, so sad. Okay, so let's find our 1 unit. 480 divided by 60, we will get 8. This is not the correct thing to say, but like, yes, you kind of cancel the 0. Yeah, because you divide it by the tens. Okay, divide both things by tens. So 48 divided by 6 is 8. Now we want to find 22u, so that will be 8 times 22. Guys, I am not very good at mental calculation, but I think it's 176. I believe it's 176. Yeah. Okay, so our answer for this question is 176. Okay, so please take your time to copy it down. Oh, move the dot. Yeah, break up. What school are you guys from? Innova. I know Innova. Innova. Oh, wait. You went to Innova for competition. Yeah, okay, never mind. I used to stay near Woodlands area. So I kind of like know where Innova is. Rosai. Oh, so this is your like last year, your seniors paper, basically. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Okay, team had 5 tins of marbles. Team had 5 tins. Okay, sorry. I have a very low, I don't know what's the word in English, but I laugh very easily. Yeah, so everything is funny. Okay, anyways, at first, each of the tins contained the same number of marbles. Then he took 18 marbles from each tin. After that, the total number of marbles left in the 5 tins was equal to the total number of marbles in the 2 tins at first. What's the number of marbles in each tin at first? Okay, so this question, we can use our favorite thing, which you guys haven't really learned it officially, but it starts with A. I don't know, anyone knows? Okay, it's basically algebra, but technically it's not really like algebra. It is not that bad because it's basically units. I can honestly just set it as units, and then you guys will know, oh, I know how to do the units one. So, but I just changed the U into T. Or do you think it's more comfortable to change it into U? Okay, let's do U so that most of you guys know. But it really doesn't matter which alphabet you use. Okay, 5 tins of marbles. So let's say each tin has like 1 unit. Okay, so we know that 5 units of marbles at first. What happened? He took out 18 marbles from each tin. So that means how many tins were there? There were 5 tins, right? So I take 18, 18, 18, 18, 18. So 18 times 5 equals to what's left? Number left is the same as the 2 tins at first. 1 tin at first is 1 unit. 2 tins at first is 2 units. So this is 2 units. Okay, let me calculate this. I think this is 90, right? So this is 90. 5u minus 90 equals to 2u. If you need, you can draw a model, of course. Okay. Otherwise, you can manipulate this thing. You know that 5u, we take away 2u equals to 90. So this is 3 units equals to 90. 1 unit equals to 90 divided by 3 equals to 30. What is the question asking for? Number of marbles in each tin at first. You know, we set the number of marbles for each tin at first to be 1u. So our answer is 30. Yay! So you can write down answer 30. Okay, let's move on. I have jumped to another question again. It's 25. I think my eyes are like failing me. Anyways, this is a rectangle. Rectangle has a few special properties, which I will emphasize in a short while. Okay, and then angle AEB. Oh, they already right. It is 65. And then the other angle over here, BDC, is 43. They want to find this sandwich angle over here. Okay, so For angle questions, right, there's actually more than one method to solve the question. There's like quite a few methods. Just depends on how fast you get there, but eventually you should get there if you know your angle properties. Usually there are two main tips for angle questions. One thing is to find the shape that is contained within. So let's say, I think the most important one is a triangle. If it's within a triangle, then you know that somehow you should be able to use sum of angles in a triangle. Otherwise, you look at the angles around it, near it. So sometimes it can be angles at a point, 360, angles at a point, or we know like, let's say the corner of this rectangle is 90. So we know it's part of a 90 over here. So it should be either part of another angle or it's part of a shape. Then from there, you can slowly work your way to the answer. Okay, so for this question, I have a method that requires kind of like two-ish steps, okay? So let's observe over here. We plan out first, okay? Don't write down anything first, okay? We know that for a rectangle, right? Rectangle, this line over here is parallel to this line over here. Do you all remember your angle properties related to parallel lines? Okay, so we see this angle over here. This angle is kind of like part of this bigger angle over here. Agree? Are we able to find out what is this bigger angle over here? Angle ABD. Anyone know what angle property we can use? Okay, let me try my best to draw a line. Okay, wait. Let me just use the line function. Yes. And then from here to here. And then from here to here. What is this? This is Z, right? Kind of. It is a Z. It is Z. Okay, your alternate angles. So what is the property for alternate angles? It means that the two angles over there, the two like pointy angles, they are the same. So ABD over here also equals to angle BDC, which is equals to 43. So now we know that this is 43 degrees, right? If we have this angle, if only we have this angle, then we should be able to find this other angle over here. Can we find this ABE over here? Okay, what other properties of the rectangles are there? We know that each corner is 90 degrees. And then we can use our sum of angles in a triangle. Sum of angles in a triangle is 180 degrees, 180. So we can find this angle over here, angle ABE equals to 180 degrees minus 90 degrees minus 65 degrees. Okay, I hope I'm correct, 25 degrees. Okay, you guys can write down the reasons as well. Okay, so this one is sum of angles in a triangle. Okay, that was the way I used to write it. Yes, and then I will write this as alternate angles. Yay. Okay, I think I'm running out of space. Can I cover it? Okay, I'm just gonna cover it. Okay, so finally, we want to find this EBD. There is only one step away. Okay, how can we find it? Oh, should I use another color? I should. Okay, angle EBD is basically now 43, the big purple angle, minus away 25, the small pink angle, and then we should be able to get our answer, which is 18 degrees. 18 degrees, that's our answer. Okay, time for me to check. Can we have a break? If you pause the video, I think you can have a break. But that means you will like miss a few questions. But you can go back and watch the questions again. Yeah, anyways, you can go back and watch the questions again. Don't worry. Okay. Oh, I cannot see my head blocking. But if I shift like that, you also cannot see. Okay, I try my best to shift this head accordingly. Yes. Okay, anyways, let's look at the next question. The figure below shows rectangle ABCD. The ratio again, AE to ED is 3:2. So we already should know by now that this means that AE is 3 units and ED over here is 2 units. That's the meaning of ratio. The first thing is 3 units. The second thing is 2 units. Okay, and then the area of the triangle ABE is 60 centimeters square. So what's the area of the entire rectangle? Okay, so sometimes when you see like weird shapes in the thing, right? What we want to do is always to find something familiar because we are all comfortable in our own comfort zone. So we want to try to come back to our comfort zone. So how? Okay, there is one very important strategy to do, which is to draw an extra line so that it becomes a little bit more comfortable, something that you see before. Okay, and usually the tip for that line to draw, right, is you see all these A, B, E, D, C, right? Okay, they will never ask you to like try to draw a line from here to here and then try to mark a new spot called X. Usually they won't do that. Yeah, usually it will be something related to the alphabets over here. So you have to link one alphabet to another and then make it a bit useful. Okay. So in this case, you can link it in two different ways. Okay. I'm gonna do the more straightforward way, which is link from B to D. Okay. If we link from B to D, right, what will happen? We know that this triangle over here, triangle ABE, the area of it, I'm going to use this to denote area, okay, is 60 centimeters square, which is our kind of like our three parts. Okay, three parts. Okay, later I will tell you why. Then now we compare to the area of triangle BED. How do we compare their areas over here? You realize they have different bases, okay? They have different bases, but we know their proportion. But they have the same height. Where is their height? Their height is from here to here. It's AB, right? It's the same height. So if they have the same height, but different base lengths, okay? What we can do is to actually imagine it like this. This is basically like two parts over here. These two triangles are the same area. This is basically three parts over here. So now we know that three parts equals to 60 cm squared. I have no idea why I keep saying degrees. Maybe we cover too many angles question. Okay, three parts is 60 cm squared. This is two parts. So now we can take 60 cm squared divided by the three parts. We find one part, but I know I'm supposed to have two parts over here. So it's multiplied by 2. So now we know that the area of this BED triangle is 40 square centimeters. Okay, now guys, we know this part of the rectangle. How do we find the entire rectangle? What's the relationship between triangle ABD and the entire rectangle? It's basically half of it, right? I hope you guys remember your half area diagram for those who are in my class. Okay, half area. So it will be, sorry, I have to move it a little bit. Should I move it here? Okay, sorry. So we know that triangle ABD is 60 plus 40. We know it's 100 square centimeters. So the area of the entire rectangle ABCD, the area will be equals to 100 times 2, which is 200 square centimeters. Okay, so this is how we would solve this question. Okay, of course, you can link CE as well for those who know how to use the half area diagram. Okay, otherwise, this is the solution. Sorry, I have to block somewhere or another. Should I block on top instead? Yeah, okay. Okay, let me take a look. Yeah, height is equal. Very good. Do y'all have any? Oh, above right corner. Yes, we have the same brain. Okay, come. Let's move on to the next question. Oh, this is so difficult. I don't know where to move my head. Okay, Rosie have a rectangular piece of paper. She folded it along the dotted line as shown below. Find angle A. I know this is a one-ish step question, but I just want to say this concept of folding is super duper important, okay? Sometimes they will test it in area, sometimes in parameter, sometimes in angles, and it's very common in PSLE, I would say, very common in PSLE. So, When you see something is folded, right? Your OCD, what will you want to do? You want to unfold it, right? Okay. So when you see something is folded, let's try to draw out the unfolded, like how it will look like when it's unfolded. We know it's gonna look like a rectangle. Sorry, I have to tilt my head so that I can draw this. I hope this is accurate enough. Okay. Yes, so if you unfold this triangle flap over here, right, you get the top. Then you realize it's actually the original rectangle. Okay, so now we need to observe this angle over here, right? What's the relationship between this angle over here and this angle over here? If you go and paint this side over here, right, you try to plop it to the other side, right? And you unfold it back, you realize it fits perfectly, right? So A over here is going to be the same angle as this hidden angle over here, this unfolded angle over here, which is also A. And then we know that these three angles, they are part of the right angle, 90 degrees of the rectangle. So we know we can write an equation of A plus 35 equals to 90, which means 2 of these A's plus 35 equals to 90. And then you will get a decimal answer. Don't worry. So minus 35, you will get 55 degrees. And then after that, you find your A, which is just 55. Sorry, I'm going to move this. Divided by 2. And then you should get 27.5. I hope my math didn't fail me. Mental calculation is not my forte. Okay, yes, 27.5 degrees. Hey, wait. Now I'm doubting myself. I'm correct, right, guys? Can you all tell me if I'm correct? I think I'm correct. Divide by 2. Yes, correct. Very good. Yay. All right for me. Okay, let me move on to the next question. Oh, were we already at paper? Oh no, we are at our first question of paper 2, which is question 33. I kind of skipped 2 questions because the first 2 questions were not as relevant. Okay, we know that Mr. Lee bought 2 identical tables and 2 identical chairs from a furniture store. He paid $3,450 in total. The cost of 2 chairs was $300 more than the cost of 1 table. Find the cost of a table. Okay, I know this question may seem like it's very easy. We have the difference, we have the sum. So this is basically a sum and difference question. So this is a sum and difference question, which most of you guys by the age of P5, you should already know how to do this very well. But this question is a bit tricky, honestly. I think the main part that I wanted to cover is because it's tricky. So let's write down the relationship between these 2 things first. Okay, we know that something, let me use my very nice rectangle. Give me a moment. Okay, yes. This is $300 more than the other thing. Okay. Am I correct to write 1 chair is $300 more than 1 table? And then I just do our stacking model. I just go and times 2, and then happily go and take 3450 minus 300 divide by 4. Okay, if you do that, right, you fell into the trap. Okay, they said 2 chairs. So this is actually 2 chairs already. So how much more do you need to buy? 2 chairs and 2 tables. You only need 1 more table. So you can draw another box over here. Okay, these are the same. So I would recommend for you to write 1 unit just in case your drawing is not very good. So you can label it as 1 unit so you know they are the same thing. And finally, the total is 3,450. So how do we do this? I'm pretty sure you guys know how to do it by now. We want to find the table, which is 1 unit. So it will be 3450 minus 300. 3,150, and then that is equals to our 3 units. So what we want to find is our 1 unit, which is 3150 divided by 31050. So the answer will be $1,050. Yay! I hope you guys didn't fall into the careless mistake over here. Okay, next question. Let me take a look how many more questions do I have to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 6. That's not bad. Okay, this question, right, is not super duper difficult as well, but I think it's very easy to assume something. Okay, so we know AB is equals to AC equals to AD. So we know we mark it like this, right? So same length, then we mark it with a dash. Yes. Do y'all know this is actually like the Roman numerals? So like if like the first pair they are the same, then we put like that. Then second is like that, right? Third like that, right? Then fourth actually you're supposed to do like that. Yes, yes, not like that. Yeah, just a fun fact. Okay, then you will see we know that isosceles triangle we have a very special angle property which is base angles of isosceles triangle are the same. Automatically, we will know that angle ACB is the same as angle ABC, which is 62 degrees. So this is 62 degrees. So, right, if this is part of the same, these two are the same, these two are the same. So that means this must be 62 and this must be 62. So our answer is 62. Okay, if you actually wrote 62, I'm sorry. No, 62 is not the correct answer, unfortunately. Okay, why? Okay, having two angles the same, right, doesn't mean that these two triangles are gonna be the same. Okay, there is something that you will learn in secondary school, which is basically they are similar triangles. Okay, the angles are the same. It means they are similar. Okay, but in this case, they are not actually similar because these two sides they are the same. They are the same, but it doesn't mean BC and CD are the same. Okay, I can anyhow extend this angle. I can even draw like AD to be something like this, and I happily connect like that. Then do you think this angle and this angle will still be the same? Definitely not, right? It doesn't even look the same. Okay, so you cannot assume that because it's part of the base angle of the same two lengths, that means this must be 62. No, it's not the same. Okay, so let's slowly work our way up. We know this is 62, this is 62. So what does it tell us about this pink angle over here? I cannot remember what is this, BAC. Angle BAC equals to 180 degrees minus 62 times 2. No need brackets because order of operations, okay? So 180 degrees minus 124. Okay, and then you get 56 degrees. So yay, this is 56 degrees. What other information did they tell you? They told you that angle DAB, dab. Okay, I haven't heard the word dab in a very long time. Yeah, okay, anyways, 114. So this big angle over here is 114. So what does it tell us about angle CAD? Angle CAD must be 114. Take away 56, you should get 58 degrees. Then you realize, oh no, this is 58 degrees, so the base angle cannot be the same thing anymore. Okay, yes, you're right, it won't be the same thing anymore. So let's figure out what the base angles are. They are going to be the same. How do we find out the base angle? Sum of angles in a triangle is 180. The two base angles are the same, so we have to divide it afterwards. So angle ACD, I am running out of space, 180 degrees minus 58 degrees. The whole thing, you get this two, then you divide by 2. And then size, I need a calculator. You guys can use calculator for this question, okay? So paper 2, you can use calculator. Okay, I am testing my limits of my mental calculation. I hope I'm correct. Okay, this is 61 degrees. Please tell me I'm correct. This is 58. 58, right? Yes. Okay. Okay, let me check whether I'm correct. Is it 61, guys? Oh my god. I now I finally understand why you all put 6, 7 so many times, because I said 6, 7 just now. I was wondering which question had the answer 6, 7. No, I don't have. So no 6, 7, guys. Wait, let me check. 61? Yay, thank you so much. Okay, come, let's move on to the next question. Oh, another geometry related question. Okay, this is a parameter question, parameter area question. So the figure shows the square ABCD with side lengths of 10 cm. Square means all the sides are the same length, so 10, 10, 10, 10. Then the difference between the parameter of the shaded part and the unshaded part is 12 cm. Of course, the shaded part is smaller than the unshaded part. Okay, if you okay, use eye power, then you can tell. But we can also tell, okay, afterwards. You can see the parameter of the shaded part, what is it made up of? Okay, unfortunately, they have this point over here, which I don't know what is it called, so I'm just going to call it E, okay? So we have this line, which is 10 cm, and then this line, I'm going to call it CE, this line, I'm going to call it DE. So the parameter of the shaded part is 10 plus CE plus ED, the slanted line. Look, can see? Parameter of the triangle. Okay, now let's focus on the parameter of the unshaded part. So this is 10. AB is also 10. Okay, wait, should I do this? Oh, I try my best, okay? Like that. And then we have an AE over here. So 10 cm plus, oh, never mind, let me just write 10. 10 plus 10 plus AE plus ED. Okay, now we know that the difference between these two is 12 cm. So basically, this thing minus this pink color part is 12 cm. So if you guys don't know how to minus in a whole equation, okay, we can slowly take things out. Okay, slowly take things out. So we have 10 plus 10. Okay, I'm going to write it as 20 plus AE plus ED. Okay, now we are going to minus 10 first, minus 10. And then after that, I'm going to minus another CE. I'm going to minus an ED. And then we know that the difference is 12. Okay, AE and CE, we got nothing to do with them. Okay, but we know that 20 minus 10, we can get 10. Okay, so this part, 20 minus 10, we get 10. And then ED, you minus away ED, what will happen? If I put a cat and then I minus away the cat, there's no more cats, right? So this thing will kind of cancel out. So it kind of becomes zero lah, basically. And then now we are left with plus AE minus CE equals to 12. So now we know that the difference between AE minus CE equals to 12 minus 10, which is 2. Okay, we are. Minus 10, which is 2. What other information do we have? Look at AE and EC. They are basically part of the length of the square, right? So the sum of them is basically AE plus CE equals to 10. Guys, we have the difference. We have the sum. Oh my god, this sounds like pen, pineapple, apple pen. Okay, I have something. Okay, never mind. Okay, so the minus and the plus. So this is a sum and difference question, which you guys know it very, very well. So how do I find out the lengths? Okay, I have to take, for those who cannot visualize, you can draw a model. This is AE, and then this is CE. The difference is 2. The total is 10. How do I find these two over here? Okay, so 10 minus 2, which is 8, and then you divide by 2, then you get 4. So you know that this shorter side over here must be 4 cm, longer side over here must be 6 cm. But not like I care about the 6 cm over there. Okay, I don't really care about the 6 cm. Why? Because the question is asking you the area of the shaded part, which is a triangle. So the area of shaded part is half times base times height, which is, in this case, this is right angle. So it's half times 10 times 4. Okay, go and do your manipulations, everything. You should get 20 cm squared. Yay! So the answer is 20 centimeters squared. I didn't cover anything, right? My face. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so you guys can take this down. Hope you can understand. Lucky never say 7. Why? Oh, use algebra? Yeah, sure. I mean, if you guys know algebra, technically everything you guys have been doing, the units, right? They are kind of algebra. Kinda. Yay. Okay, let me see. Okay, we are at the last few questions already. Last few questions. Let's move on. Okay, I think this is one of the a little bit more challenging questions in the paper, a little bit. Okay, but it's okay. It's okay. Okay, we know that for 4 big trees, 13 meters of ribbon. Not but 6 small trees, 5 meters of ribbon. Okay, we want 36 big trees and 36 small trees. Let's focus on one by one. Let's focus on the big one first. So for big, okay, we know we need 13 meters. I want 36 big. So this is basically our rate question, right? You all got the arrow diagram, the rate question. So how do you get from 4 to 36? I need how many sets? I need 9 sets, right? So it will be 13 times 9, which I need a bit of time. I think it's 117, I believe. Okay, on the other hand, we have 6 small trees, is 5 meters. We want 36. How do I get from 6 to 36? How many groups of 6 do I need? I need 6 groups of 6. Okay, so it will be 5 times 6 equals to 30. So now, in total, how many meters of ribbon do I need? 117 plus 30 equals to 147 meters. Okay, so that's for the first part. First part is still okay. Okay, let's move on to the second part over here. Now he wants to use 853 meters of ribbon to decorate some big and small trees. Okay, he decorated 24 more small trees than big trees. How many trees did Mr. Wally, I just realized his name is quite funny, sorry. Okay, decorate together. So, guys, is it fair for us to compare like something that's more versus something that's less? Okay, it's not very fair, right? Life is unfair, okay, no, but in this case, for us to make our life easier, right, what we want to do for all these kind of grouping questions, before we make them into groups, right, we need to make it fair, okay? You guys can write down, make it fair, yeah. Because life cannot be fair, so we make our math questions fair. Yay. Okay, so how do I make it fair? I must make them the same number, okay? So I can go and put this 24 small trees aside first. So I take it out from the entire situation first. But the important thing is to always remember to put it back in. Okay, so I'm going to write down over here. So for the 24 small trees, okay, how many meters of ribbons are you going to use? This is 6 small is 5. So 24, how many sets of 6? 4 sets of 6, right? So 5 times 4 equals to 20 meters. So we are going to use 20 meters over here. So I'm going to take this out of the equation. So 853, we minus away the 20, we have 833 meters. Okay, 833 meters is used for the same number of big trees and the same number of small trees. Okay, so I can write down over here. So we know that it's gonna be same number of big, same number of big and small trees. Okay, so now I think some of you guys will be like, oh, just now didn't we have a situation that had same number of big trees and same number of small trees? Okay, yes, we do. Okay, but I would recommend against using this value over here, the 36 and 36. Why? Because this is not the smallest possible group. Okay, this is not the smallest possible group. We want to find the smallest possible group which can divide by 4 perfectly, divide by 6 perfectly. This sounds awfully familiar, right? It's basically our lowest common multiple. What is the lowest common multiple of 4 and 6? What is the smallest number that can divide 4 that can also divide 6? Not 24, it's 12. Okay, so we can translate this into a 12, okay, 12 small trees, and then a 12 big trees, and then this is our one group over here. This is the smallest possible group. One group has 12 big and 12 small. How do we know how much ribbon is used? You can either go and calculate and then add it up together, or you can use the previous question. We know 36 big and 36 small is 147. So for 12 big and 12 small is basically 147 divided by 3. divided by 3, which is 49. I trust myself, 49. Okay, 49 meters. We know to make 12 big and 12 small, we need 49 meters of ribbon. Our goal right now is to find out how many of these tiny, tiny groups we have for this 833 meters. So in 833 meters, what we have to do is to divide it by 49. Okay, sorry guys, I am unable to mental calculate, so I will have to check something, to check the value. You get 17, yay. So 17 means there are 17 groups. How many trees did he decorate altogether? One group got how many trees? Is it just 12 trees? One group has a total of 24 trees. So one group has 24 trees. Let me draw a tree. Wee. Okay, like that lah. Okay, and then I have 17 groups. So that will be 24 times 17, which is 408. Okay, 408 trees. 408 trees. Are we done? Happily, 408 is our answer. Do you see the big star over there? It's not very big actually, but star. Okay, remember we need to add our things that we removed before that. So the final step, right, is to take our 408 trees. We need to add another 24 trees. Okay, and then we should get our answer as 432 trees. Yay! So our final answer is 432. Such a nice number. They should just add a 1 behind it. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a bit of time to process this, and let me look at the comments at the meantime. Yes, make a set. Correct. Why I don't want to put 4 big and 6 small in one set is because we want to make the number of trees the same. We want to make the number of big trees the same, the number of small trees the same. Why? Because what we did, we made it fair already, right? So the number of big trees and small trees should be the same. Okay, which means the number that you want to divide by, right, must be divisible by 4, must be divisible by 6, but it's the same number. So that is basically our lowest common multiple. Lowest common multiple. That's why in one group, right, I make 12 and 12. Because I know it's going to be the same number of big, same number of small for this 833 meters. Okay? Okay, wait, let me see. Okay, let's see. By the way, guys, if I miss any questions that you want me to say, later at the very end, you can ask me again, okay? So let's move on. Yay, percentage. Did we talk about percentage today yet? I think we haven't. Okay, I think this is the first percentage question. So, guys, do you all like discounts? Do you all like discounts? I love discounts. I am like that kind of people who get scammed in the supermarket because I see the thing, oh, if you buy 2 things, then it's cheaper. Then I'll be like, I must buy 2 things. Then in the end, I didn't use both of them. Yes. So this is very sad. Anyways, okay, discount means it becomes cheaper, okay? So the amount that we spend is less. The original price is $35. During a sale, the discount given to each of the fan is shown here. So which fan was cheaper after the discount? Let's look at fan A first. Fan A, the original price is $35. Okay, we are $6.80 off. So we kind of minus $6.80 over here. So this will be 28.20. Then let's look at fan B. Fan B. Oh my god, I used like kind of the same color. I like it. Okay, so it's a 20% discount. Discount is always discount of the original price, right? We are comparing it to the original price. So our original price, we will set it as our base total, which is 100%. Okay, if you have a 20% discount, are you still paying the 100%? No. Okay, we are paying 20 less than the 100%, so we are paying 80% only. So now 100% refers to our $35 over here. So we want to find out what is our 80%. For those of you guys who can do it immediately using a calculator, go and press. Okay, sure. So you can use this. You can do 35 times 80 divided by 100. For those who never see this way of writing before, I know my primary school teacher taught me. Yeah, I was very proud of it. Okay, anyways, it's basically dividing by 100. You see, divide by 100, then you multiply by because sometimes if you don't have a calculator, then you can simplify from here. Then it becomes very nice to simplify. So which one is cheaper? So fan B is cheaper. How much cheaper is it? Go and write down your workings. 20 cents basically. Okay, I write down. Minus 28, 0.20. Yay. Okay, now let's look at the other part. I think we don't need the top part over here. I hope you guys don't need it. Oh, actually, maybe I can do this. Should I do this? Okay, so now you want to buy the cheaper fan on discount. So we are planning to buy fan B. So it means if you guys do this question wrong and wrote fan A, right, then your question 2 hopefully got error carrying forward. Yes, hopefully. So fan B is $28 after the discount, but you still need to pay GST. Do you all know what is GST? You all might not know because your parents pay everything. But GST is the goods and services tax, okay? So right now, back in my days, it was 7%, I think, for a very long time. Now it's 9%. Okay, so basically this GST is charged on the discounted price, which is $28. Okay, so we are going to pay an additional 9%. Originally, we were going to pay 100%. If we pay another 9%, we are paying 109%. So now we are basically paying 109% of the discounted price, which is $28. Off means multiply. Okay, so multiply by $28. Okay, this one percentage, you can represent it as 1.09 times $28. Or you can just punch in your calculators. You guys can use the calculator. Sorry guys, I need to check what's the answer over here. It should be 30.52. 30.52. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, 30.52. Okay, just use your calculator. Okay, can I move on? Yes, goods and services tax. Very good. 0% GST. I wish, but cannot. We need to sustain our economy. So GST is a very important thing, guys. Okay. Anyways, a box of biscuit is sold at $5.50. Every 5 boxes of biscuit, 2 boxes of biscuits are given free. Oh my god, I love deals like this. Okay. Nadia bought some biscuits and paid a total of $126.50. How many boxes of biscuit did she have? Okay, maybe I shift myself here. So we need to focus on this deal over here first. We buy 5 boxes of biscuits and we get 7 free. So let's look at one set over here, one group or one set, whatever you want to call it. How many biscuits are you paying for? You are paying for 5 boxes, right? So it will be $5.50 times 5. Okay, I think you should get $27.50. Am I right? Is it $27.50? Yes, $27.50. $27.50. So this one set costs $27.50. But are you only getting 5 boxes? No, right? We are getting 7 boxes. Okay, so we get 7 boxes. Wow, for a cheaper price. So now we know that she paid a total of $126.50. How many sets of this $27.50 are there? You guys have the calculator. Go ahead and punch in your calculator. Total is 126.50. Okay, we are dividing by the amount of each set. So it's $27.50. So we can find out the number of sets. Unfortunately, this is not a very nice number, so I kind of have to refer. So we know that there's 4 sets with some remainder. Okay, I'm not sure whether you guys know how to find the remainder. Okay, but you can think of it as I have 4 perfect sets of $27.50. So go and figure out how much it is. And then that amount, you subtract it from this 126.5, and then you should get a remainder of 16.5. So this is the number of sets. This is the remaining money. Okay, so now we know that 4 sets means she got 7 times 4 equals to 28. But we know she still spent another 1650. Where did the 1650 go? Into my pocket? Okay, no. Into the boxes, okay? Individual boxes, like buying a la carte. If you go to restaurant, there's a la carte and there's a set meal. Yeah. So now here is the set meal, and then the rest you use for a la carte. Okay, so one thing is $5.50. So how many individual boxes did we buy without the deal? Divide by 550, you get 3. So in total, we will buy a total of 28 plus 3 equals to 31 boxes. So the first question's answer is 31. 31. Is everything okay? Oh, can you get a shout out? Rajesh? Yes. Yay. What is you guys clicks per second? I don't understand. Okay, anyways, let's move on. Okay, in every box of biscuits, there are 10 pieces of biscuits. Darren needs to get 485 pieces of biscuits. What is the least amount of money he has to pay? So we know that we want 485. We know one box got 10. So now let's figure out how many boxes we need. Divide by 10, and then we get 48.5. So guys, we are going to buy 48.5 box of biscuit. Can we do that? You cannot. I don't want you to destroy public property, please. No, take half box, okay? We take one full box. So the least number, right, we have to use is 48 plus 1, which is 49 boxes. So we need 49 boxes. Okay, if I need 49 boxes, remember our very nice deal from just now. For 7 boxes, we need to spend only how much? 27.50. 27.50. Wee, nice deal over here. So how many of these deals can we redeem? 49 divided by 7. We can redeem 7 sets of this deal. Okay, this is one set. And then one set is 27.50. So 7 sets is 27.50 times 7. Sorry, I need this. 192.5. Yes. You know, we have a teacher over here. He learned like abacus, I think. And he can do like 3 times 3 digit multiplication in like less than 10 seconds. And meanwhile, me struggling to do like, yes, this multiplication. Okay, I can do it. It will just take a bit longer. Yes. Okay. Anyways, I think we are at our last question. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay. Take what made blueberry and chocolate muffins to sell? Do y'all like muffins? I think muffins are okay. Some muffins are not very nice. It's like very dry. Okay, 5/6 of the muffins were blueberry muffins and the rest were chocolate muffins. So guys, from the first sentence, what fraction of the muffins are chocolate muffins? We can already tell it's 1 minus 5/6. We know 1/6 of the muffins is chocolate muffins, right? Okay, now let's continue. We know that he sold 1/3 of the total number of muffins. Okay, so this is of the total. And then 5/6 of the muffins sold were blueberry muffins, which means the rest sold were chocolate muffins. Okay, there were 120 chocolate muffins left. How many blueberry muffins did he sell? Okay, there is a very, very nice tool in fractions that we can use, which starts with a B. Anyone knows? Starts with a B. Okay, it's our branching method. Branching method. Okay, branching method, I know the keyword is of the remainder. But there are some times that we can use branching methods for this kind of part-whole situations. So it's like I kind of split this batch of things into 2 groups. And then within the groups, I split it into another 2 groups. So I can start with 1 whole. That's our total fraction of things. Okay, and then we know that he sold 1/3. So this is 1/3 sold, which means what's left? What's left? 2/3, right? 2/3 of the muffins were left. Now we know that out of the ones that is sold, so we can focus on the sold part. Okay, 5/6 of it are blueberries. Okay, which means the remaining what fraction is remaining? 1/6. 1/6 of the remaining were the chocolate muffins. Okay, are there other details we can fill in? Yes, there are still a bit of details we can write. So we know that I don't know how much fraction or how much amount of the blue were left, but I know that 120 chocolate were left. Okay, we know it's 120, but I don't know the fraction. So remember, I think I said this like 2 or 3 times today. We always want to relate units to numbers. In this case, I want to relate fractions to numbers. Okay, these are our numbers. How do we relate the fraction of the total to this number over here? So to find out the fraction of chocolate muffins left, we need the total fraction of the chocolate, and we need the total fraction of the chocolate sold. Can we find them? Okay, so chocolate total, we know minus the chocolate sold equals to the fraction of the chocolate left. Do we know the first thing over here? We do, right? At the very second sentence, we already found out that 1/6 of the total were chocolate. So what does that tell us about the chocolate sold? Let's focus on the chocolate sold. It's this thingy over here. Let me use this color. This thingy over here. So I must minus 1/6, then I'm like, whoa, genius, there are zero chocolate left. Okay, cannot. Okay, 1/6 is 1/6 of the 1/3 of the entire thing. Okay, so branching, the important thing is to draw that weird cucumber thing. Okay, you don't have to draw it. Okay, visualize in your head, or you use highlighter also can. Okay, so this is 1/6 of the 1/3 of the total. So you remember, of means times. Okay, so we multiply this and we will get 1 out of 18. Right? So this is 1 out of 18 of the total sold. Okay, so what's the fraction of chocolates left? This is, you can make the denominators the same. So you get 3 out of 18 minus 1 out of 18, you get 2 out of 18, which we simplify. Oh my god, so many equals. Okay, generally, I don't recommend for you to put equal sign all the way, but sorry, I don't have space. Okay, so I'm going to write 1/9. Okay, so 1/9 of the chocolates is left. So that means 1/9 of the total is the chocolate left, which is 120. So we found a relationship. Can we find the total number? Yes, we can. So 120 times 9, okay, I think it's 1080. Am I right? 1080, yes, 1080. And then now we want to find out how many blueberry muffins did he sell. He sold 5/6 of 1/3. Okay, so let's find out what is 5/6 of 1/3 of the total. Go and punch in your calculators. Okay, you should be able to get, I think, 300 as your final answer. Okay, use your calculators for this. Yay, oh my god, I'm so proud of myself. Funny story is, my P5 class is a 2-hour class, and then I end up like overrunning every single week. Yep. It's okay, my kids love it. I hope you like this session too. Okay, so this is the final question I'm going to go through. But if you have any other questions, you can type it in the chat. Please give me a while. Oh, is model? Can you use model for this question? You can, but you have to be very careful with drawing it, because the fraction of the total is not exactly the same. That's why I would recommend to do branching method for this kind of fraction problems. Yeah. Okay, biscuit is out wrongly. Yes, apologies. Yeah, for the previous question. Okay, let me see any other things. When she start eating the last box of biscuit, it expired. I'm gonna eat. Huh? I'm so confused. Okay, anyways. Okay, I just want to emphasize on certain things for those who didn't come at the very, very start. Okay, basically, if you have any P6 friends, siblings, seniors, I don't know, that they are taking PSLE this year, I think it's on Friday. It's on Friday itself. We are also going to have a live stream on Friday, 6:30 p.m. By teacher Wan Ying. Okay, she's going to go through the questions on the day itself. Okay, and then after that, next Thursday, we're gonna have round 2 of this, but it's gonna be another teacher, Teacher Singy. Okay, so look forward to that. Yes. Anyways, I think that's all from me. Oh, two more things. Guys, look forward to our P5 EOY exam mock test, which tentatively is going to be held on 14th October, which is the PSLE marking day on Tuesday. Yeah, so you can look out for this. I think the teacher next week will let you all know more about it. And also there will be P5 trial classes upcoming. Okay, it's an offline class. If you guys are interested, or if you guys are interested, you can contact me or whoever. Yeah, someone. Yes. Okay, yeah. Anyways, thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the session. Hope this was great. 46 part 2. Did I go through 46 part 2? Oh, I did. Okay, let me see. Okay, you can screenshot. Actually, you just later you can also press backwards. I think there's a playback. Okay, let me see. Any other questions? Otherwise, you guys can go. You can say bye-bye to me so that I'm not lonely. It's very weird, okay, guys? Like, you kind of have to like talk to yourself. Okay. Yay. Yeah, so your P6 friend can watch our live on Friday 6:30 p.m. It's also on YouTube and WeChat as well. Yeah. See anything else? Bye bye, guys. Bye. I shall leave at 8 p.m. if there is no other things. Oh, the mock test. Oh, the mock test will be for P5s and P4s actually. If you guys are P4s, we will open up the sign-ups soon. Yes, indefinite time, but definitely by like next week. By next week, I would say. Yeah. Yay! See you. I don't know when. Yay! Bye bye. Bye guys. Bye. Oh, there's a hi. Do you have a question? Oh, bye. Wait, I will leave at 8 if there is no questions. I will leave at 8. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye. How do I see how many people are there? I can't tell. Bye. I will go back and watch your comments later. I feel like I missed out some things. Where? For I think it will be at Parkway Parade. Actually, where I am now. I mean, oh wait, I feel like I shouldn't say my location. This is very scary. Okay, but anyways, yes, you look out for the WhatsApp. Yes, look out for the WhatsApp messages and the WeChat messages if you're in the WeChat. Yes. 48, 45, 2. Oh, 45 part 2. Let me see. Is it this one? Yeah. Which platform to register? They will send you a link in the WhatsApp chat. Don't worry. You can ask. I don't know whether are you the child or the parent. You can look up for our messages in the WhatsApp group. Yeah, WhatsApp is fine. Yeah. Oh, register for the classes. Which classes? The live streams is open to the public, so there's no registration involved. You can come and go whenever you want. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I shall wait for 5 more minutes because there are still people here. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Hope you guys understood my explanations and hope it was useful. Any other questions? Oh, you're the child. Okay. Yeah, by the way, it's quite funny because there's like I think 10 seconds, like is it 10 seconds? I have no idea. We can trial. Someone can type something and then I can say, you can tell me how much is it. Okay, I guess we can for trial classes and more we'll send more details inside the WhatsApp chat, so don't worry. I think you can ask your parents to take a look. Yeah. Look out for our messages in the WhatsApp chat. Yes. Wait, let me see. Oh, question 14 is it? Question 14. Is it 4? Wait, let me see. Did I go to question 14? This one? This one? You can also scroll backwards. Yeah, because I kinda gotta go. Yes. Or you can screenshot right now. You can screenshot. Yes. Okay. I shall leave in 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.